Today we get to meet Caleb from You Can Make This Too. So put down your tools, guys. It's time to meet a maker. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Sarah, and today we're gonna meet a maker who's focused on taking the mystery out of how things are made and encourages you to create something with your own two hands. This is Caleb.
Hey, I'm Caleb with You Can Make This Too. That's my channel on Instagram and YouTube. This is my shop where I do all my projects, and my mission with all the projects in my channel is to provide confidence, knowledge, and inspiration to people who want to make stuff by demystifying the process of how things are made and how they come together, so you realize that it's all approachable techniques. You just go step by step and you can build almost anything you want, no matter what tools you have or don't have. There's almost always a workaround. Anyway, speaking of tools, an unsung hero in my shop that I don't think gets enough love, even though I use it quite a bit, is the trim router. Now, say what you will about me, I'm one of those guys still intimidated by full-size routers. I just don't like using them. They're just scary to me. But trim routers, though still dangerous, of course, are just a lot more controllable, less power, so I'm just not afraid of it getting away from me, and I just enjoy using them a lot more. But that said, they have the power to do almost every task I need a router to do. Very seldom do I ever have to pull out my big router. And really, the router table is about the only time I use it because that's what's in there. But for simplifying, doing your edge treatments, chamfers, roundovers, these are great for getting into joinery with the jig. You can start doing dovetails and box joints. It's also great for making rabbets, grooves, dados. You can even use these to hog out most of a mortise if you want to start getting into mortise and tenon kind of joinery. There's just so much you can do with the trim router. I've even started using it for some carving to start laying out the base work for wood carving, which is something I'm playing with now and want to learn a little bit. So yeah, just a super useful tool. Another YouTube channel that I really like to watch is Cristofix DIY Projects. He's sort of like if you mix together Izzy Swan, Jimmy DeResta, and Matthias Wandel. He's got this really interesting approach, makes some really cool projects, but also really neat shop jigs and stuff. And one of the cool things is over the past year and a half or so, he's built out his shop. So all the projects you see him do and all these interesting little like knob making jigs and kerf makers and sleds and tables and fences. He has videos on how he did all that. So it's really interesting to see that development and how the projects he can make grows as he makes new little kits and jigs to improve what he can make in a shop. And it's just really, really fun videos, very well produced, cool stories, and just interesting stuff. So highly recommend you check him out. As I imagine most makers do, I have this habit of developing a love affair with whatever project I'm currently working on, and maybe the next one, because while I'm working on one, I'm normally thinking of the next one and working through the design issues or problems I think I'm going to have and just deciding what I want it to be. But anyway, one project I'm particularly proud of is the couch that I did last fall. It's a modern style. It's become the centerpiece of our TV room, and I just really like the way it came together. I'm proud of the design, proud of the execution. It's a piece I'm really happy with. I'm very much a one project at a time kind of guy, but lately I seem to have multiple projects going on. So some of the stuff I have coming out, I've done several epoxy cutting boards, and a question that keeps coming up is, are they safe? So this is as far as I've gotten on one project. This is just covered in epoxy. So I'm gonna do some testing and talk about food safety, the difference between food safe, safe for food contact, and all the boards we're seeing that have epoxy, you know, what you should or shouldn't do with it, and then also guidelines, etc. I mentioned earlier, I'm experimenting with carving, so I've kind of got this going on in the background, got all the routing done. Next I'm going to break out the gouges and start doing that for the very first time, so that's exciting and a little scary. And the other stuff I've got spread all over my bench is the big build-off table. I was invited to join the big build-off put off by the Instagram Builders Challenge. So I'm working on that. Don't want to tell too much more because the design's secret and everything, but those videos will start coming out soon if they're not already. So that's what I've been working on right now. And of course, if you want to follow all these and see how they come out, you can find me at You Can Make This Too on Instagram, YouTube, which is where the heart of my content is, also on Facebook, and you can find everything I do at my website, which is ycmt2.com, like my logo. Anyway, I want to say thank you for asking me to do this little feature. I really appreciate the opportunity. And until next time, make time to make something.
Thanks for joining us today, Caleb. If you're not already following him, I'll link to his YouTube channel in the description. I want to thank Heart for sponsoring this episode and reminding us that we can build anything we can imagine if we do it with heart. If you love DIY as much as I do, be sure to subscribe before you go, and don't forget to join us this and every Friday for your next Make or Break. I'll see you then.